Joining me now is Texas Congressman Roger Williams, the chairman of the House Small Business Committee and member of the House Financial Services Committee. Mr. Chairman, good to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Janet Yellen conveniently left out the fact that Joe Biden has been forgiving all of the student loan debt. And of course, has to have been adding to the deficit, but she doesn't want those tax cuts extended for the average person out there. Give us your sense of what the impact would be on small business.
Well, first of all, small business is excited about what's going to happen. You need to cut taxes. When you cut taxes, you create more taxpayers. You actually create more cash flow. You create more opportunity. You create more employees. So the tax cuts are needed. And when Janet Yellen talks about it, I mean, everything she says is going to happen has already happened under their watch. It doesn't work. But we need to cut taxes. We need to cut regulations. We need to let small business breathe again to where you can start a business, take risk, and get reward, like it used to and what America's built on.
Well, the House Freedom Caucus is floating a corporate tax hike on many companies in New York, New Jersey, and California in exchange for easing the SALT cap deduction for individuals and families. We know that this has been a major topic for you and your colleagues. Will you put an increase to the cap on state and local taxes in your upcoming reconciliation plans? Fox News digital reporter Elizabeth Elkind reports that the caucus will also drop a two-track reconciliation proposal today, which includes $4 trillion, 2-year debt limit increase paired with steep spending cuts. Your reaction, and where do you think this is going, sir?
Well, we've had the debate over, is it one beautiful bill or two beautiful bills? I'm fine either way as far as we make sure we have tax cuts in there. You talk about the SALT, and the eastern states want the SALT, and where I come from in Texas, they don't necessarily think we should be paying for other people's high taxes. So we have that debate going on, but we have to. It's important that we get out fast and give President Trump an opportunity to do what he says he would do. That's why I support having tax cuts immediately, because people will see in Main Street, they'll actually see their check bigger, they'll see more money in their pocket, they're going to see more opportunity, and when they see that, you expand your business, you take risk, and you attempt to get reward and realize the American dream. So we'll see what happens. We're going to have the debate today, and we'll see what comes out, but we need to act very soon to get President Trump an opportunity to get out what he said he would.
Well, Mike Lawler had a bill to lift this cap, which is currently $10,000, all the way up to $100,000. And then he met with Trump over the weekend, last weekend, and he started talking about a number closer to $60,000. So I wonder what your take is in terms of where that should be. Here's Mike Lawler, New York congressman, with me over the weekend. Watch.
Here's the reality. If we don't pass a tax bill, the cap on SALT expires completely, and we go back to unlimited. The problem is that it would be associated with the largest tax increase in American history. The rates would go up. The alternative minimum tax would come back. So there's reason for all of us to negotiate in good faith. The fact is that, if you lift it to, say, $60,000 for an individual, it covers most everybody. So we're working through this.
So the cap is $10,000 right now. What's your number? What does your gut say?
Look, I introduced legislation to lift it to $100,000 for individuals, $200,000 for married couples. We will work through this negotiation with the president, with our leadership, and come up with a number that works as part of the overall tax bill.
What do you think, Congressman? What should the number be?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I think if there's going to be a number, I wouldn't be surprised if they settle somewhat in the middle. The number 60 was mentioned. I'm not sure, but I'm telling you, we've got to make sure we come up with a solution on this and get this tax bill and get the border bill and get everything out so we can show the people that we are reacting quickly.
Sure.
And we're ready to get it done.
So what about the border? Southern border communities are regaining a sense of normalcy, we're told, ahead of the Trump inauguration. Kinney County, Texas Sheriff Brad Coe told Fox News Digital, quote, the pendulum has gone from total chaos and has swung back to where it's more peaceful and everybody's a little more relaxed. Mr. Chairman, I know you've got a bill to reinstate Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. Tell me about that, and do you think that is part of the president's executive orders? He says he's going to have 100 executive orders on day one, Monday.
Well, we'll see. The Stay in Mexico policy, which I'm introducing on the House side and Marsha Blackburn on the Senate side, is pretty simple. You're very familiar with it. We know it works. It just says if you're going to try to get over here illegally, we're going to keep you in Mexico. We'll give you a due process and a court date, but you're not going to come over here and expect you to come back. I mean, that's what the Biden administration was doing. That's one of the reasons we've got 20 million people in here. We don't know who they are. They get a court date when they were in the United States. We'd expect them to come back. They never came back. Small amount would even try. 5% is what I heard. And they're even behind up to 8, 9, 10 years. So it's a disaster. That's why we're going to reintroduce this thing, and we want to get it in law. So the stay in Mexico policy is something that everybody understands.
Yeah, I mean, for the border, can President Trump do much of that through executive order? I mean, you still need to agree on a number for the border as well. And what is that? Is that $150 billion in terms of covering the deportations and housing the migrants before sending them back? What is there a debate about that right now?
Well, there is. I mean, one side will say, well, if you try to deport all these people, it's going to cost all this money. But what costs money is having people here illegally that are stretching you out in your hospitals, your schools, and your law enforcement and crime. And so you can't even put a price on that. So look, if people got to be returned. If they want to come in the United States, they got to do it legally. They got to come through the ports of entry, and then they can realize the American dream. But don't try to stampede across here and try to break the laws down, which we need to remind people we are a land of law.
Right. Well, we'll need to remind them today. You're right. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Roger Williams joining us. Stay with us.